Hello and welcome to Winter Disco Tabletop Gaming. In this video we are checking out the latest pre-orders from Games Workshop for 15th of August 2020. So the main release for this week are the final two warbands for Beastgrave. So let's jump in and check those ones out. So first up we have Morox Crush. So 3 Ironjawz orcs with the bunch of cards that you normally get. Pretty cool. I've done a video sort of talking about these models already. But now we get to show off some 360 views, which are really nice. So we get some 2 nice heads there. And to be honest, I am coming around to these models. I know in the last video where I talked about these, I was pretty critical, but I've had a big think and I am coming around to them. Still, I would like to see some, a bit of difference. I'm still not sure about the armor panels, if all this detail is in there, but we're going to find out in just a second. So we've got some cards there. I'm not going to go into the cards because I want to focus on the models itself. So let's have a look here. I'm going to make it a bit bigger. So looking at the models, it looks like there are some more dinting and impacts on the armor itself. So maybe there are a lot of lines that you can pick up. So we do have the sprues there, pretty much straightforward. It's very push fit and some nice spaces there. It's like some skulls and some other bits and pieces, like some rings or some chain. Oh, yeah, it's part of a chain. Yeah, I have come around. I think that the models themselves they're nice. They're okay. So next up we have Mogwaith's Blade-coven. Oh, I should say 55 Australian. 55 Australian. Whatever that will be in your currency, I don't know yet because the pre-orders haven't actually gone up for the other countries. So then we have Morgwaeth's Blade-coven, again, $55. So we get 5 models in this one and the cards. So let's have a look at Mogwaeth itself. Again, the same criticism of these models are essentially just almost reposed models that you can already get. I do love the attention to detail in the hair. I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, the models are pretty much the same. A lot of skin on this one. So there you go, if you're into that. I do like the integration to the base. I think technically, yeah, the models are getting more amazing. So you have like the whip chain and it all ties in to give you some nice contact points. And then she's sort of like hanging up in the air, which is pretty cool. Then we have a snake lady. A lot of detail there to paint, which is pretty cool. And we have one of the, I guess the assassins. I don't know exactly what their names are. So we got that one there. Pretty cool model. I do love the integration of the bases. That's one of the things I really do like about the Warhammer Underworlds models. So let's go to the sprues here. Again, they're sort of push fit. A little bit complicated sometimes, as we've seen with a lot of the models, but they all go together fairly well. And there we go. We got like the snake lady. There's like 3 bits for the snake part. So the tail hooks into one bit, the body hooks into the other bit. So it's a bit fiddly, the fact that it's all built into the base, but like I said, I love the integration of the bases. Sometimes for using the models just as the models without the bases, can't be done. But there you go. So $55 Australian for those ones. And of course you get all the unique cards and some other cards that you get for some of the other warbands. And then you have the collections. So $95 for both of them. So you get the warband itself, the sleeves, and the pack of dice. So we're not going to go too much into this box itself. I'm going to look at the sleeves and the dice separately because you can buy them individually. So Morox Crush, $95 Australian, and Morgwaeth's Blade-coven collection, $95 Australian as well. So pretty much the same thing, just themed for that. So the card sleeves, looks like you get 70 cards in there. So they're all right for $20 for 70 card sleeves. I can't tell you what the quality is like of them. I've never used any of them. But I think it's not a bad thing if you want to go in and use your own cards. You can get cheaper card sleeves, and that's fine. I think for $10, you probably get like 150 cheap ones. I don't know if they are reflective or not. I mean, this doesn't really give you much information, particularly this side of it. I prefer the matte side, but sometimes you get like this satin or silky side that's a bit too shiny. So yeah, we got those ones. Again, $20 for the Morgwaeth Coven ones. And you get the funky Morgwaeth Coven Blade-coven, not Blade-coven, the sigil on there, which is kind of cool. So then the dice themselves, $20 for, how many dice is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dice. I mean, dice are cool. It's not like you can use them in other games though. That's part of the problem. I guess these things are definitely for people that play a lot and really play for a lot of the same warband, if you want to go that way. So you get 8 of those ones, and then you've got... I just want to double check then. So they are very similar. So the Morox Crushes, so the black and the white, creamy, dirty one, you can get the same there, but this one is it's more of a purple. So yeah, each to their own. $20 Australian each. 5 attack dice and 3 defense dice. Not really much more to say about it, to be honest. The dice are fine. I mean, they're the same that you get in the boxes, so if you want to get them, get them. Then we got some books. We have the Horisian Wars Divination paperback. So this is coming up for $20. So this is a number of 11 short stories written by John French. So you can jump into that. I'm not going to go into the books too much, because I'm going to keep this video fairly short. Then we've got the Buried Dagger, which is now finally in paperback for $18, which is pretty good for a paperback, for a Horus Heresy Black Library paperback. So this is, as far as I'm aware, this is the last of the Horus Heresy series. Yeah, it's the last one before it goes into the, what's it called? The Solar Wars? I can't remember off the top of my head. Siege of Terror. Yeah, Siege of Terror. There you go. Then you got those books as well for $18. Now, I'm starting to throw in Forgeworld stuff too, because why not? We're looking at all Games Workshop stuff. We have Keeper of the Dungeons, the resin orc model for the Lord of the Rings game for $37 Australian. So not overly cheap for a single resin model, but I actually kind of like this model. I've always had a problem with the Lord of the Rings models and their paint jobs. I don't know if they've got a specific dedicated team to that. Something about them just doesn't really work for me, and I don't know what that is. But each to their own. Some people like it, some people don't. I just happen to not like it. But this model's kind of cool. I do like the Lord of the Rings ranges, particularly the ones where they don't have any like sigils or markings that identify them as a faction from Lord of the Rings. And this one, as far as I know, doesn't. So you could, I imagine, my first thought was, I want to use this in Dungeons and Dragons. Because I don't play Lord of the Rings, I don't collect any Lord of the Rings models or anything like that, but I think you could do some really cool things with that as like a low-level, mid-level boss. Because they got a bunch of chunky, beaten-up armor, a whole bunch of weapons and things like that. So I like it. So $37. So that's it for this week. I'm imagining next week will be a whole bunch of 40k releases. Possibly like the Space Marine ATV, the Thunder Strike, the big gun that you can get, and some Necron stuff. That's what I'm assuming, but, you know, we'll see in the next few days. So there we go. That's all we got. My favourite probably is the Orcs, because I love Orcs. I think they're cool. And yes, like I said, I have come around some models. Anyway, that's it for this video. Let's wrap this puppy up. So if you have enjoyed these pre-order videos or any of the other videos, definitely do subscribe and leave a comment of what release you are most excited about. And until next time, thank you for watching.